Imagine this. It's 2026. You're scrolling Zillow at midnight, half dreaming, half stressed. You see it. A clean, normal-looking house. Nothing fancy. 3 bedrooms, small backyard. Price, $500,000. You don't gasp. You don't even feel shocked because somehow $500,000 now feels normal. But then a quiet question hits you hard. Who can actually afford this? Not influencers, not YouTubers flexing cars, not people posting keys on Instagram. I mean real people, regular jobs, regular salaries. This is where the math gets brutal. Let's rewind a bit. 10 years ago, a $500K house was considered premium. Today, in many U.S. cities, it's the starting point. And the biggest lie people tell themselves is this: if I earn a decent salary, I'll manage. That sentence alone destroys more financial futures than credit card debt. Because houses don't care about vibes. They care about numbers. Cold, ruthless numbers. So let's meet our character. Call him Alex. Alex is not lazy. He's not bad with money. He has a college degree, a stable job, health insurance. He earns $100,000 a year. Sounds amazing, right? 6 figures. The dream salary. Social media would tell you Alex has made it, but reality doesn't care about screenshots. Alex wants that $500K house in 2026. First rule of the game, the down payment. Banks don't want dreams. They want skin in the game. Traditional down payment is 20%. That's $100,000 up front. Not over time, not eventually. Cash. Today. Even if Alex somehow finds a program that allows 10% down, that's still $50,000 plus closing costs. Closing costs alone can be another $10,000 to $15,000. Before Alex even touches the door handle, he's already bleeding money. But let's be generous. Let's say Alex manages to put 10% down. The loan amount is now $450,000. Welcome to the real nightmare, the monthly payment. Interest rates in 2026 are not the free money era anymore. Let's assume a realistic 6.5% mortgage rate. On a $450,000 loan over 30 years, the principal and interest alone comes out to roughly $2,850 per month, and we're just getting started. Now add property taxes. Depending on the state, this can easily be $400 to $800 per month. Let's stay conservative and say $500. Add home insurance, maybe $150 per month. HOA, many areas have it. Add another $150. Maintenance, roofs don't care about your budget. Plumbing doesn't wait for bonuses. Financial planners recommend at least 1% of home value per year. That's about $5,000 annually, or roughly $400 per month. Now pause. Let's add this all up. $2,850 mortgage, $500 tax, $150 insurance, $150 HOA, $400 maintenance. Total, around $4,050 every single month. No vacations, no emergencies, just the house breathing down your neck. Here's where the math turns violent. Alex earns $100,000 a year. After federal tax, state tax, Social Security, Medicare, health insurance, retirement deductions, Alex's take-home pay might be around $5,500 to $6,000 per month. That means over 65% of Alex's income is going straight into the house. Financial experts scream when housing crosses 30%. Alex is doubling that, and we haven't talked about groceries, gas, car payments, student loans, childcare, or life. This is the moment most people realize something terrifying. The $500K house was never designed for the average $100K earner. It was designed for dual-income households, investors, or people with existing equity. In other words, people already inside the system. And Alex hasn't failed. The system just quietly moved the finish line while everyone was distracted. Let's meet the real buyer. Call her Jessica. Jessica doesn't just earn $100K. She and her partner together make $180,000 a year. They have zero student debt, no car loans, no extravagant lifestyle. They live like their parents taught them. Save, budget, repeat. For Jessica and her partner, that $500K house is barely within reach. Even then, they're staring at a 30-year commitment that will shape every choice they make for decades. Vacations, kids' colleges, even the car and the driveway. Every month is a calculation. Every purchase a trade-off. Now, imagine the dreamer side of the story. The single-income $100K Alex decides to stretch. He cuts corners, delays retirement contributions, eats ramen more often than he should, skips trips, and prays nothing breaks in the house. He thinks, I'll figure it out. But here's the brutal truth. Life breaks math. Emergencies happen. Roofs leak. Cars die. Medical bills surprise. And the moment one variable shifts, shifts. Suddenly, $4,050 a month for the house isn't 65% of income. It's 80%, 90%, even more. And that's how financial stress sneaks in, quietly, invisibly, crushing dreams. But let's flip it. There's another group, investors, cash buyers, people with equity from previous homes, or those sitting on inheritances. For them, the $500K house is not terrifying, it's a calculation. They see monthly payments, property appreciation, tax write-offs, and think, this is opportunity. They're not feeling the chokehold of the mortgage. They play the game differently. And this is the most important lesson for anyone scrolling Zillow late at night. The math is only brutal if you're trying to play it like everyone else. So, who really can afford this house? People who have high combined income, people who've saved aggressively, or people who leverage previous assets. Maybe you're one of them. Maybe you're Alex, dreaming and grinding. Either way, the key takeaway is simple, but not easy. Buying a $500K house in 2026 isn't about desire. It's about preparation, strategy, and brutally honest math. And here's the kicker most videos won't tell you. Affordability isn't static. It changes every year with interest rates, inflation, taxes, and local housing bubbles. What was affordable for a middle-class family last decade is now barely a starter home. The system shifted quietly, and it will shift again. Understanding this, planning around it, and knowing the real numbers is the difference between a dream home and a financial nightmare. So, the next time you scroll Zillow, don't just click the heart. Stop. Calculate. Ask the hard questions. Who can afford this? And more importantly, can you really afford this without sacrificing everything else that matters? Because the brutal truth of 2026 isn't that houses are expensive. It's that most people are walking into decisions they've already lost before the first signature hits the paper. After Alex and Jessica face the brutal math, it's time to step back and breathe. Here's the part most people skip, the strategy. Because knowing the problem is only half the battle. Winning it requires a plan. Let's follow Alex as he learns this the hard way. He's staring at $4,050 per month for a house he thought he could afford. Panic sets in. But then a mentor in his life tells him something simple. You can't buy what you can't sustain, but you can build a path there. Step 1. Redefine affordable. Forget the dream of instant ownership. Alex realizes the 30 to 35% rule exists for a reason. If a house consumes more than 30 to 35% of your income, your financial health suffers. So he does what smart earners do. He sets a target monthly payment he can handle, $2,000. That's almost half of the scary $4,050. Then he works backward. What loan size, what down payment, and what neighborhood make this possible? Suddenly, the $500K home isn't the only option. A $300 to $350K house in a less trendy but growing area can give him the same dream: space, stability, future appreciation without drowning in debt. Step 2. Accelerate savings for the down payment. Alex opens a high-yield savings account and commits to automatic transfers every month. He reduces discretionary spending, not by punishing himself, but by shifting priorities. Instead of expensive dinners and vacations, he channels that money toward his home fund. In a few years, he could realistically cover 20% down, avoiding private mortgage insurance and crushing monthly costs. Step 3. Explore alternative income. Jessica's dual income approach wasn't an accident. Alex experiments with side hustles, freelancing, investing in index funds, and even monetizing AI skills. Each extra $500 to $1,000 per month reduces the stress on his mortgage calculations, turning a house from a burden into a manageable asset. Step 4. Think long-term with strategic location. Real estate is about growth, not just the initial price tag. Alex learns to evaluate neighborhoods not for their Instagram appeal, but for school districts, employment opportunities, and long-term appreciation. Sometimes buying a smaller house in an emerging area pays off, more than stretching for the $500K perfect house now. Step 5. Embrace flexibility. Renting strategically while building wealth isn't failure, it's leverage. By renting a smaller, affordable place for a few years, Alex keeps his savings growing, avoids lifestyle inflation, and positions himself to afford a larger house later without financial suffocation. By the end of this journey, Alex isn't just a dreamer, he's a strategist. The $500K house isn't a fantasy he's blindly chasing anymore. It's a calculated target, within reach, without sacrificing mental peace or financial
financial stability. He understands the brutal math, but he's learned the secret. Smart planning beats brute force desire every time. And here's the final truth we leave with viewers. In 2026, owning a $500K house is no longer about luck. It's about preparation, discipline, and strategy. Anyone can dream, but only those who understand the numbers and play them wisely can truly turn that dream into reality.
By now, Alex has learned the hard truths, built his strategy, and adjusted his expectations. But let's be honest, most people still want shortcuts, hacks, insider tips. And while there's no magic wand, there are ways to stack the odds in your favor in 2026. First hack, interest rate timing. Alex discovered that even a 0.5% difference in mortgage rates can save thousands over 30 years. He starts monitoring the Federal Reserve announcements, local lender deals, and online rate trackers. He doesn't just apply for the first rate he sees, he waits for the sweet spot, the month when lenders are offering slightly lower rates. That 0.5% drop doesn't sound like much, but on a $450,000 mortgage, it's almost $200 saved per month, enough to breathe easier or put towards extra principal. Second hack, down payment hacks. Many first-time buyers ignore programs available in 2026. Alex finds state and city-level grants, employer-assisted home purchase programs, and even federal first-time buyer incentives that reduce the upfront cash he needs. For example, some programs allow 3 to 5% down instead of the classic 20%. He combines this with his high-yield savings and small side hustles to accumulate the cash without sacrificing his lifestyle entirely. Third hack, neighborhood arbitrage. Instead of focusing only on the trendy or Instagram-worthy neighborhoods, Alex starts exploring emerging areas. These are often undervalued now, but have high appreciation potential. He tracks school rankings, upcoming developments, and local job growth. A $350,000 house in an emerging area might appreciate faster than a $500,000 house in a saturated market. Patience plus research equals a future home that could be worth more than he ever imagined. Fourth hack, reduce recurring costs smartly. Alex looks at the numbers and realizes HOA fees, insurance, and property taxes can sink affordability faster than mortgage interest. He shops insurance annually, negotiates property tax assessments, and chooses homes with lower HOA fees without compromising quality. Small monthly wins like this add up to hundreds of dollars saved, money that can go directly toward the principal or emergency fund. Fifth hack, leverage tools and AI. Alex, being tech-savvy, uses apps to track budgeting, investment growth, and real-time mortgage calculators. He even experiments with AI platforms that simulate future housing affordability under different scenarios, changing interest rates, inflation, and career growth. This allows him to plan years in advance with clarity most people only dream of. Finally, the mindset hack. Think in phases, not finality. Alex stops thinking, I must buy the perfect $500,000 house right now. Instead, he visualizes the journey. Save smart, invest, earn extra, buy strategically, and upgrade when the time is right. By breaking the dream into actionable phases, he controls the fear and pressure that crushes so many first-time buyers. By the end of part 4, Alex is no longer just a salary earner hoping for a miracle. He's a planner, a strategist, and a smart player in the brutal 2026 housing market. And for viewers, the takeaway is clear. You don't need to be rich to afford your dream home, but you do need a strategy, patience, and the courage to play smart.